Imagine looking up at the night sky and seeing a glowing fireball, brighter than the sun, racing toward Earth. It's not a shooting star, it's not fireworks, it's an asteroid the size of a mountain, and it's not slowing down. In those final moments before impact, the whole planet would be watching. People would run, pray, or just stare in disbelief as this giant rock blazed across the atmosphere. And then, within seconds, everything would change. When the asteroid slammed into Earth, the explosion would unleash energy equal to millions of nuclear bombs going off all at once. The ground would shatter, the skies would light up, the sound would be deafening, louder than anything humans have ever heard. To put it in perspective, even the largest bombs humanity has ever built would look like tiny firecrackers compared to this. Imagine throwing a pebble into a calm pond. Now replace that pebble with a skyscraper-sized rock moving faster than a bullet, and replace the pond with Earth. That's the kind of chaos we're talking about. And here's the part that's hard to wrap your head around. The impact itself wouldn't just destroy one city. The shock would ripple across entire regions. Ground tremors would shake countries. Dust and debris would fly so high into the air that satellites might not survive. Some scientists say the first few seconds would feel like the Earth itself was tearing apart. Others argue the blast would be so bright you wouldn't even have time to process it before being blinded. The truth is, we don't know every detail, but we do know one thing. If a massive asteroid hit us, those first moments would be pure devastation. And hey, on the bright side, suddenly that math test you've been dreading doesn't seem like such a big deal anymore. But here's the kicker. As terrifying as that first explosion sounds, the impact itself isn't even the worst part. What comes after makes the blast look almost tame. The first shock of impact would already be terrifying, but the destruction that follows, that's where things get truly unthinkable. Right at ground zero, everything would vanish in an instant. Cities would be erased like chalk wiped off a blackboard. Forests would be flattened, oceans would boil and explode outward. Nothing in that zone would survive. Not buildings, not animals, not even the ground as we know it. And it wouldn't stop there. The shockwaves would rip through the planet, traveling faster than the speed of sound. Picture walls of wind so strong they could toss cars like toys and rip trees straight out of the earth. Windows would shatter thousands of miles away. If you were anywhere near the blast zone, survival wouldn't even be a possibility. The heat alone would be unbearable. Temperatures close to the impact site could rise higher than the surface of the sun. Metal would melt, rock would vaporize. For hundreds of miles, everything would be engulfed by flames or flattened by the force of the blast. Think of it like dropping a massive stone into a pool. The waves don't just crash outward, they keep going, pushing everything in their path. Except here, instead of water, it's the very crust of the Earth that's moving. Scientists believe that if a large asteroid hit land, the shockwaves could circle the globe multiple times. Every corner of the Earth would feel the vibrations, like a planet-sized alarm clock going off. No one could escape feeling it. And here's a detail that's almost impossible to picture: the sound of the impact. It wouldn't just be loud, it would be beyond what human ears can handle. The pressure waves could rupture eardrums and knock people off their feet even far from the blast zone. So if the explosion didn't get you, the shockwaves, winds, or sheer force of the Earth's shuddering probably would. Survival here would be nearly impossible. But as terrifying as that sounds, the blast and shockwaves are still only the beginning, because what comes next doesn't just destroy land and buildings, it turns the entire sky into a weapon. If the blast zone felt like the end of the world, what comes next makes it look like a warm-up act. After the asteroid's impact, massive chunks of rock and molten debris would be hurled into the sky. Some pieces would even escape the atmosphere before falling back down, like fiery boomerangs returning to Earth. As that debris re-enters, it would heat up and rain back down as blazing fireballs. Imagine the sky filled with streaks of burning rock, each one capable of igniting forests, grasslands, and even entire cities. Within hours, wildfires could spread across continents. The heat from this rain of fire would be brutal. Scientists believe it could cook the very surface of the planet, turning the air into an oven. Animals caught in the open would stand little chance. Oceans wouldn't escape either. Huge waves of steam would rise as fiery debris struck the water, releasing even more chaos. And then there's the smoke. Every tree, every field, every city set ablaze would send plumes of soot and ash into the atmosphere. Dust from the impact itself would already be swirling high above Earth, but now it would mix with the smoke of a burning world. The sky would darken, sunlight would struggle to break through, day would slowly turn into an endless night. To give perspective, scientists think the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs created fires so widespread that smoke circled the planet. It's possible that at its peak, the entire Earth glowed red from burning forests. That's not just destruction, it's global-scale chaos. And here's a chilling thought. All that falling debris and rising smoke wouldn't just destroy what's on the surface, it would change the very air we breathe. Breathing could become dangerous in many regions, with ash clogging lungs and blocking oxygen. It's hard to imagine anything worse than an Earth on fire, skies raining molten rock, and a choking atmosphere. But as terrifying as that fiery aftermath sounds, the true danger is still waiting. Because when the fires burn out, what follows is colder, darker, and far more deadly. The fires would eventually fade, but the real nightmare would just be beginning. With smoke, ash, and dust clogging the atmosphere, sunlight would almost be completely blocked out. Days would look like nights, and the world would be plunged into a deep, unnatural darkness. Without sunlight, temperatures would drop quickly. Scientists call this an impact winter. Imagine summer suddenly feeling like the coldest winter you've ever experienced, except it doesn't end after a few months. The chill could last for years. Crops would be the first casualty. Without light, plants couldn't photosynthesize. Fields of wheat, corn, and rice would wither and die. Even hardy crops that normally survive tough conditions wouldn't make it. The world's food supply would collapse almost overnight. With plants gone, animals that depend on them would starve. Herbivores would die off first, followed by the predators that eat them. Ecosystems everywhere would unravel. It wouldn't just be wild animals. Billions of humans would be at risk too. And it wouldn't stop at hunger. The cold, combined with smoke-filled skies, would trigger brutal weather shifts. Rain patterns would change, some areas could face endless freezing storms, while others would dry up completely. Whole regions would become unlivable. Scientists believe this exact chain of events wiped out the dinosaurs 66 million years ago. Their world went dark, their food vanished, and their reign ended almost overnight. Now, picture the same thing, but with modern civilization. Cities would run out of food within weeks. Governments might try to ration supplies, but starvation would spread faster than aid could come. Survival would mean finding ways to stay warm, finding food wherever possible, and avoiding the chaos that would erupt among desperate populations. And just when it seems like nothing could get worse, there's another twist. This kind of winter wouldn't just last a few months. It could drag on for years, possibly decades, until the skies finally cleared and sunlight returned. But here's the chilling truth. While the impact winter might wipe out most of humanity, some people might still find ways to cling to life. The real question is, could anyone actually survive the end of the world? So after all the fire, the darkness, and the endless cold, could humanity actually survive? Surprisingly, the answer is maybe. While most of the planet would be devastated, small groups of humans might endure, though life would never be the same again. Underground shelters would become the last safe havens. Imagine entire communities forced to live below the surface, relying on stockpiled food, generators, and recycled air. Canned goods, grains, and anything that could last for years would be the only diet. Forget fresh fruit, forget burgers on the grill, survival would mean eating whatever didn't spoil. Technology could help, but only for those prepared. Solar panels wouldn't work without sunlight, but nuclear power or geothermal energy might keep lights on in some areas. Water could be collected underground, but finding enough to support large groups would be difficult. The hardest challenge wouldn't just be physical, it would be mental. Imagine never seeing the sun for years, living in darkness, hearing stories about how the world used to be while knowing it may never return. Fear, stress, and hopelessness could take as much of a toll as hunger and cold. Still, humans are stubborn. History shows we've survived ice ages, plagues, and disasters before. If anyone could push through an asteroid apocalypse, it would be us. Scientists believe that microbes, insects, and deep-sea life would thrive regardless, which means Earth itself wouldn't die, it would just change. Humanity's survival would depend on whether we could adapt quickly enough. And yet the truth is sobering. Even if pockets of people endured, civilization as we know it would be gone. No more countries, no global trade, no internet, no modern comforts. Society would reset to its most basic form, small groups fighting to stay alive. It's a chilling reminder that we're not untouchable. 66 million years ago, the dinosaurs ruled the planet, and in one strike, they were gone. Today, we're the dominant species, but an asteroid doesn't care about dominance, technology, or history. If it comes for us, we face the same choice the dinosaurs never got: fight to survive or vanish with them.